in Line podcast, where we are helping to prepare you for whatever is next in line. As always, I'm your host, Chance Pitts, and I would like to thank you for tuning in to this episode. Guys, so a little bit of housekeeping right off the bat. If you receive value from this episode, or any other episode for that matter, or even the daily content that we are putting out, and that's at Next in Line Development on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now TikTok, please make sure that you are sharing the information, sharing the podcast, and sharing those motivational things that you're seeing on social media with like-minded people or people who could benefit from those things. It goes a long way with growing this movement and reaching as many people as we can, and that is the goal, to try to help as many people as we can going forward. Guys, and with that, we will dive into Thoughtful Thursday. So there's no denying whether you like basketball or not, or whether you like him or not as an individual, James Harden is a talented athlete. He's played for the Thunder, he's played for the Rockets, and now he's playing for the Nets. And although his team might have changed, his signature move has not. And most people who are familiar with sports know this move, but for those of you who are not familiar with sports, it's called the step back. And Adidas even named a shoe after the move because of its effectiveness and the popularity and the way he's been able to utilize that move in games. So what is the step back? So it's the act of driving hard past your opponent, or even towards your opponent, causing them to move in line with you in order to guard you. And then once your opponent's momentum has changed or shifted, you quickly stop and take a step back. The purpose of the move is to create space and create separation that allows you to be able to have an open opportunity to observe your situation for just a split second, and from there you can decide whether to take a shot or to pass the ball to a teammate who's in a better position to be successful. And it also allows you to make positive motion that will help you get closer to the goal, like scoring a basket, or the overall goal, which would be to win the game. So why is this relevant? You might be telling yourself that you don't care about sports, you don't care about athletes that are overpaid, basketball is your least favorite sport, whatever it is, but that's where you're missing the mark just a little bit, guys. Not only is this move prevalent and applicable to the basketball court, but the step back is actually an effective move that we can all utilize in our lives on a daily basis to help us get the results that we want and to help us gain perspective on situations that we find ourselves in. It allows us to make the best decision based on what we know in that moment. Also, just like in the game, it helps alleviate some of that pressure that tends to build up in those situations as well. Guys, just take any stressful situation you find yourself in, whatever you're dealing with. Maybe it's your boss being on you to hit that important deadline. Maybe it's a piece of equipment that has gone down for your team that you're needing. It's a key piece of equipment, and everyone's looking at you to be able to come up with a solution for the problem at hand. Whatever your situation is, take a page from Harden's book and use the step back. Create a little bit of separation from the problem, and then get a better look at it. Look at the options that are laid out in front of you, and then make an educated decision based off of the needs of everyone involved and the team's overall goal. Unlike James Harden, you typically have more than just that split second to make a decision. You don't have a defender in your face and only that split second to get it right. So take the time that you have, that time that you're blessed with in your situation, and make the best decision possible, then go score. Now keep in mind, the step back is a problem-solving move, and it's not just meant for leaders in a business or people in the professional setting, but it's meant for anyone who is working to overcome an obstacle. Shameless name plug, what's next in line for you? Maybe you've been struggling with your wife and y'all keep arguing about something that you can't seem to come to a conclusion on. Maybe it's how you're disciplining your kids. Maybe it's making a large purchase that you've been needing to make for a while. Maybe it's even just as small as doing the dishes. Whatever you find yourself in situation-wise, when things get heated and that pressure starting to build up, take a step back and see everything from all angles. Why are you arguing the side you're arguing? Why is she arguing her side? What do you both want to come out of that situation? How could you reach a point where you both mutually benefit with as little heartburn or as little give as possible? By using the step back technique to briefly back away from the fussing and the fighting, you can see the situation a little bit more clear and make a more productive move. It might even save you from a night on the couch, guys. This is valuable information here. The same goes for dealing with your kids or your friends or your family. Everyone has an overarching goal and an intention to why they do the things that they do and why they make those decisions that they make. The most important thing to do when you find yourself in one of these situations and it's not going the way that you want it to go is to take a step back and figure out the who, the what, the where, the when, the why, and the how of that situation so that you can go forth and conquer that problem appropriately. And guys, what about other aspects of the step back? What's a huge aspect that we don't necessarily think about in this way? But isn't life just one big problem or competition or maze that we're trying to successfully navigate every single day? There's always going to be a weight of 1,000 different problems all just riding on you, and they're going to need your attention, and they're going to require a decision on your part every single day. And we let those things pile up on us, and we don't do anything about them to put ourselves in a positive space until it's almost too late. Then we allow the build up and we allow the blow up, and then at the end of all that, you're at a place that you don't want to be at, and typically a place that is a dog fight, an absolute dog fight to get out of mentally. So why don't we use the step back to prevent a situation like this from occurring? Use the same exact principles we've talked about to get ahead of the situation that's coming your way and prevent yourself a harder uphill battle. Step back and take a couple of seconds just to breathe and see that life is good. Guys, we could be in a ditch somewhere dead, or you could be digging a ditch somewhere, or you could be trying to figure out where the hell you're going to find a next meal that you're going to eat, or just trying to survive like some of these people in the world actually have to do. Whatever your situation is and whatever you find yourself doing, know that life is only as good as you make it out to be. And it's like Abe Lincoln says, most people are only as happy as they picture themselves being. So next time you find that life has forced you to a hard decision or a tough situation, and you find yourself on the court with the pressure building up and the situation getting out of your control, I challenge you to implement the step back technique. Take a deep breath, think about what you're going to do next and why, and then go score. Who knows? They might even name a shoe after you. Guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Next in Line podcast. As always, make sure you're leaving a rating and you're subscribing to the content on whatever platform you listen on. We're on a variety of them now. Make sure you leave us some feedback. Shoot us a DM. Share this with somebody if you see it as valuable. Guys, check us out on the daily content. That's at Next in Line Development, like I mentioned, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And guys, always be prepared for whatever is next in line.